Alright, we're back. Hello everyone. Let's talk police and get into the final part of 4.1. That was a pretty hectic ending of any fight though. I like it. It's just, wow. Well fought, Miro. Our involved, that was a near thing. Aye, our stand against the Kalyana would have been brief indeed had you not volunteered for guard duty. We'd be enthralled as surely as our sentries were. They must have planned this far in advance. Security was my responsibility, and I know how dangerous primals can be. I should have... it's my fault, my stupid mistake. Nay, lass, we were all caught unawares. We will take this as a lesson and watch our own more carefully in the future. You can be sure that the lackeys who smuggled the crystals into the throne room weren't the only thralls in our ranks. The soldiers who first spoke up in the favor of the Kalyana keeping their weapons spring to mind. A primal servant is betrayed by his aura. If you mean to conduct an investigation, I can identify any others acting under Sri Lakshmi's influence. Thanks, Shastola. We'd appreciate the help. Speaking of help, I almost fell over when Flodola turned up. What was she even doing there? I asked her to come. Well, that explains it then. It's sad, but Ragnford was right. Her victims will never forgive her for what she's done. But I don't think Fordola picked up that sword looking for forgiveness. She wanted to fight for her country. If you say the world in which Fordola grew up is partly to blame for what she became, then as an Ala Mhigo, I feel responsible for improving that world. We can't ignore what's happening right now. We have to show people a better way than vengeance, or we risk giving birth to a new generation of skulls. I know it's idealistic, but I want to help people let go of their old grievances and make peace with each other. And I'll hold 1,000 meetings and talk till I'm blue in the face if that's what it takes. It was a long and arduous path you've chosen, but one well worth walking. Rest assured, I will do what I can to help you reach your destination. Thank you, Alphino. The first step will be to get our representatives back in the throne room. They're a little shaken, but not one of them seemed ready to run. We're all determined to finish what we started. I will see that you are not interrupted. Miro, you and the Scions are to stand down. Get some rest, you've earned it. Damn it, stop telling me to get rest. That means something's gonna happen.
A fine spot to contemplate the heavens. The meeting is over. The envoys have chosen to instate a government modelled on Ishgard's House of Commons, a ruling body of representatives elected by the people. It is a fair decision, and one which signals the end of my part in all this. But I would gaze upon Girabania's stars one last time before I leave. Forget something? Your Grace, there was no word.
Raubahn Aldin, you are hereby dismissed as General of the Immortal Flames and relieved of your seat on the Syndicate.
But, Your Grace...
Raubahn, I am no longer a child. Stay here in your homeland. Work with your brethren. Rebuild Ala Mhigo.
You desire to stand alone. I understand, but remember what happened.
I remember full well the consequences of my naivety, and thus did I consult at length with a most trusted adviser ere I embarked upon this course.
A most trusted advisor? And what of me? Am I no longer deserving of your confidence?
What trust can there be between us when you withhold the truth from me? Did you think me oblivious to the anguish in your eyes when you spoke of returning to Uldar? For years and years, we have trusted one another. Yet now you refuse to confess your heart's desire?
I swore an oath to you that day on the sands. I pledged my sword.
And it has served me well. But in Pippin you have forged a new sword, as sharp and deadly as the blade you bequeathed him. I will show you a Sultana who can wield every weapon at her disposal, including Lolorito and his monetarist cronies. So follow your heart, please. You are home. You are free.
Nanamo.
Smile for me, Raubahn. I would have this parting be a joyous one.
Thank you, Your Grace. It has been an honor to serve you and Uldar.
Tomorrow you will serve Ala Mhigo and fight for the good of all Eorzea. Am I understood?
Yes, Your Grace.
All right.
Thanks for shielding us from Lakshmi, you two. If you hadn't been there, the rest of us would be worshipping her by now.
You're kind to include me, Lise, but we both know who did most of the work. I could scarce keep track of the battle, let alone land a telling blow. No shame in admitting it. The Warrior of Light has put far better men than me in the shade.
Did I mention that I encountered the Sultana in the palace? It would seem Her Grace has come to Girabania to oversee the final stages of her relocation project. She was in search of General Oldin, and I directed her to the rooftop garden. I do hope you were still there.
Are you in the habit of gossiping about the affairs of royalty, Master Leveilleur?
Certainly not, Your Grace. I was merely informing my companions.
Be at ease, Alphino. 'Twas only a jest. but I must yield the floor to Raubahn. He has an important announcement to make.
As of yesternight, I have been relieved of my post in the Immortal Flames and the Syndicate both.
I shall be assuming my father's duties. And may I say that Tizona has never felt heavier upon my back.
Twould seem I am in need of employment. Mayhap one of my old acquaintances can introduce me to a mercenary company or some such.
You may be getting on in years, father, but you'd struggle to find a band of sellswords who wouldn't snap your hand off. Your remaining hand.
Yes, the bull of Ala Mhigo need not be put out to pasture just yet.
Your Grace has developed a wicked edge to her humor, and you, Pippin, would do well not to laugh when the future may hold the same for you.
So, does this mean you're staying?
Aye. That seems to be the way of it. I would be glad to aid you in rebuilding our nation, if you'll have me.
If, he says. Welcome home, Raubahn.
Well, that was unexpected, though you seem distinctly unsurprised. Either you are more astute than I give you credit for, or I'm losing my touch. In any event, one thing is certain. Ala Mhigo will rejoice at the homecoming of her dearest son.
Nano comes out. Are you in the habit of gossiping about royalty, you small bitch? Raubahnn's like, well, no more Nanamo pussy time release. Oh no. You're losing your touch, you small bitch. I think it's about time I headed back to Hooker's Reach. What's next for all of you? Alice will be eager to hear of recent events, so I shall join you, if you've no objections. I welcome the company. Mira, why don't you come along to the Reach as well once you've said your farewells to Nanamo and the others. Upon completion of the quest, you'll be able to access the Royal Palace's rooftop gardens by speaking with a Royal Menagerie attendant. Oh, okay. I don't even have to talk to them. Perfect. No, he still hasn't had sex. Well, here we are again. Alphino has regaled me with a thrilling tale of hidden treasure troves, mid-meeting betrayals, unlikely alliances, and joyous homecomings. It would seem I missed everything. I was patrolling the palace when the grounds was anchored in Ishtola when we heard the report of a primal in the throne room. I honestly doubted my own ears. As others have said, we were lucky to have our Echo-blessed champions nearby this time, but we'll need to keep a closer eye on the Kalyana. You can say that again. The whole episode is reminding me just how far apart our kinds still are. It looks like centuries of fear and mistrust really can't be washed away in a day, but someone has to make an effort of reconciliation if these conflicts are ever going to end. Naturally, a lot of people are crying out for vengeance, but I've been doing my best to calm things down. Violent reprisals will only lead to more summonings. Indeed, violence will ever beget violence, as the Empire has learned to its cost in recent times. In any case, summoning Lakshmi was the Broodmother's doing, and whoever replaces her might not be so keen on the idea. We'll just have to watch and wait. Which isn't to say that we won't be putting the safety of our allies in the Vera and the M-tribes first. I want to have Resistance Scouts keep track of the Kalyana's movements at all times. My parents will be relieved to hear that. What are your plans for the rest of the Resistance Army, out of interest? Are we to prepare for Imperial counterattacks? That would be a question for the Resistance newest recruit. A military commander with far more experience than me. What, the Bull of Ala Mhigo? We call it an army, but the Resistance is really a collection of smaller, independent groups. When Conrad passed the command to me, that authority only extended to the freedom fighters based in Augur's Reach. He just happened to be serving as the Resistance spokesman at the time, and needed someone to take over the role while everything was in disarray, but that time has passed. When I speak with the other leaders about reforming the army under the new government, I'll be nominating Raubahn as the overall commander of our forces. He has more experience than the rest of us put together, and we stand to learn a lot from him. Indeed, he is in all respects the ideal choice. Assuming he accepts the post, Ala Mhigo will have added a formidable weapon to its arsenal. And given the progress of Nanamo's recruitment initiative, I see great cause for hope. The seeds which we so carefully sowed have begun to quicken, my friends. I like that. We tend to our promises, and watch as Ala Mhigo blooms. Blooms, not brooms. And I get a dress-up Raubahn. Detachable arm optional. I do give thanks to the Kami that my makeshift raft withstood the fury of the seas. But their generosity ended. With their coins in our pockets for new attire, we are doomed to look like so much jetsam. Oh, woe betide the poor man in a city of rich merchants. These dango are delicious. Will you have one? More sweetbreads? I surrendered my blade to secure what few coins we have. Oh, just like talking to a child. Why fate saddled me with this burden, I shall never know. But I am alive, and I must return to my master's side. God damn, his hands are huge. Come, Suyu. We will find a ship to carry us across the Ruby Sea. Meanwhile, in the Imperial Palace. Have you read the reports? First Doma, then Ala Mhigo, and Lord Xenos put to the sword. Do not believe everything you read. I hear the voice I was merely wounded, and that he has already returned to the capital. Naturally, the savages beat their chests and boast loudly of taking his head, regardless. Nay, Lord Xenos lives? Deplorable that our own officers should be fooled by Eorzean misinformation. Small wonder the provinces have begun rising up in rebellion. We must prepare an official and above all accurate announcement to quell these pernicious rumors. They would wage war with empty words. Let them produce the Viceroy's remains then. We shall put to the lie to their claims. Well, who is that? Just who was that? Alright, we have about 10 minutes left. We can start the next little bit here. First, I think we get a title. We do. We got the achievement Raubahn's Left Arm, or the title Raubahn's Left Arm. There you go. Tidings from the East. I'm sure there's plenty of sex in this world, 10 gauge. Miro, great timing. I was just about to send word to the Scions. I've got lots to tell you. The Council has officially recognized the Resistance as our standing army, and I would expect you can guess who's been appointed commander. Suffice it to say, we're in good hand. Having the Bull of Ala Mhigo at the helm's done wonders for morale. People were dancing in the streets when the announcement was made, and we have you and the Sultana to thank for it. If you two hadn't worked your magic, he never contemplated following his heart. The council was also decreed that we are to maintain presence at Rauger's Reach. Lise will continue to lead our forces in the fringes, a job she's been doing tirelessly, a bit too tirelessly, some might say. We're constantly having to remind her to rest before she falls over. That's an exaggeration, and I always get up again. Anyway, we can hardly afford to lower our guard now. Not after our latest brush with Lakshmi. Speaking of which, we've been keeping a close eye on the Kalyana, and it looks like they've chosen a new leader. It's, Shanti's daughter. You know, the half-dead one. For whatever reason, the Kalyana thought she was the best candidate, which makes them leaderless, basically. As things stand, there's no prospect of engaging in talks, let alone coming to an understanding. But I won't let that stop me. I'll keep on reaching out to them until they finally see sense. Just like I've been reaching out to Ferdola. She still won't meet my gaze, but she's given up trying to ignore me. It may only be an odd grunt, but at least she's responding. I'll get through to her yet. Miro, there you are. Alphino, Alice, is everything alright? We've received word from Tataru. Hancock has apparently acquired information of great interest and urgency. More than that, she didn't say. Only that we should come to Kugane right away. I don't mind for the two of us to set forth together, but Alice is determined to make it a party of 3. As I've told you more than a dozen times, brother, my wounds are quite healed, and I would benefit from some fresh air. Besides, you may well need an extra pair of hands. Worry not, sister, I've given up on trying to convince you. Whether we be 2 or 3, we should depart as soon as possible. Will you be joining us, I trust? Huh, I was about to say I'd come too, but I'll just have to settle for cheering you on from afar. Good luck with it, whatever it turns out to be. Well, thank you, Lise. Rest assured, should this business prove to be of even tangential concern to Ala Mhigo, we shall inform you without delay. Let us be off then. Hancock and Tataru await us at the Ruby Bazaar offices. Anyway, 10 gauge. As far as sex is concerned in this world, you need only go to Balmung or Excalibur. I think Balmung. Because a lot of people apparently ERP on that server. Coincidentally, that's also the server that Jeremy plays on. Alright. Greetings, honored madame. May I show you in?
My friends, thank you for coming at such short notice.
We were told the matter was urgent. I take it Yugiri and Raubahn are also involved?
My presence here is but a happy coincidence. I am come on separate business, which can wait.
My apologies. Master Hancock, pray, tell our friends exactly what you told me.
Of course, of course. Some few days ago, a large detachment of soldiers was seen arriving at the Garlean embassy. This seemed to me most unusual, as no personages of note are due to visit for a matter of months. So, I made a few inquiries, whereupon I learned of a most curious rumor. Apparently, the soldiers were dispatched to Kugane to investigate recent sightings of a certain individual. The late acting Imperial Viceroy of Doma, Yotsuyu. I beg your pardon?
I too am loath to believe it. I saw the keep come down on top of her. We all did.
I would not presume to question your eyewitness accounts, nor am I one to take rumors at face value. The fact is, the Garleans have no knowledge of what took place at Doma Castle. They may well be chasing after a woman who merely resembles Yotsuyu. But a woman who resembles Yotsuyu in the company of a grizzled Rogadan samurai? I dare say that thickens the plot.
Gosetsu! He's alive!
While I've no conclusive proof, I thought that such a possibility warranted your attention.
Have you informed Lord Hien? Well, I think we'd all like to believe the old bear survived.
Indeed. While I dare not give myself wholly to hope, I will not deny that I have prayed for such a miracle ever since that fateful day. But regardless of my personal feelings, if the Empire has seen fit to pursue these rumors so vigorously, we can scarce afford to ignore them. I am bound by duty to ascertain the truth of the matter. Will you join me in this quest?
Hi, we'll find Gosetsu together.
Thank you. If Gosetsu yet lives, he will need our help if he is to avoid capture.
Gosetsu is a dear friend, and we cannot abandon him to the mercy of the Empire. Our course is clear. Hancock, is there aught else you can tell us? Alas not, but I have taken the liberty of employing one of the finest informants money can buy. You shall have the latest intelligence on the Garleans' movements, and more besides.
The informant awaits your pleasure in the back streets of Sanjo Hanamichi. From its shining facade to its dark underbelly, you know Kugane as intimately as he. One of the finest informants money can buy. Why do I have a bad feeling about this? Permit me to assist you in your quest, my friends. The sooner your business is concluded, the sooner we may speak of mine. Should your wish to take you away from Kugane, my boat is at your disposal. I shall see that she is ready to sail. I'll give Raubahn a hand. If he is providing us ship, the least we can do is supply the provisions. We'll be at the pier if you need us. A welcome offer and an excellent plan. Without further ado then, let us seek out the informants in Senjo Hanamichi. You say abandon him? Alright, ladies and gents. Unfortunately, that comes to the end of today's stream. But we got a lot done today. We got through patch 4.1, which was the dungeon of the Lost City of Scala, where we found the Mad King's treasure trove. We made it through all the peace talks. Raubahn is back in Ala Mhigo. We beat up Lakshmi again. Got to make fun of Alphino. I think it went pretty well. So, with that said, guys, YouTube, thank you for viewing.